Off to take care of the other two nodes. So this is Macaron's charge rhythm attack. If you hold the button, it creates an anti-gravity field that slows down and like kind of like blocks enemies in place.
I wasn't sure.
Very good and works on pretty much anything, regardless of like if they have like a stun gauge.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was that or if it was like a shield or something.
Yeah. The whole point is to very much like put a speed debuff on enemies, which could be very useful for, you know, like how we bought like the charge attack last time. That like if you can get it set up properly and you remember that you have that move, it's like, yeah, let's get a free charge hit on them. Still getting A's on combo scores, but like not as frequently as I was during tracks 3 and 4, obviously.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just naturally a bit more difficult to do that in fights like that where there's only one wave.
Yeah, sometimes it's just not possible to get it.
Yeah, so you have to be a bit more creative and doing things with, you know, like, ideally with, like, jam combos or whatever, but that's assuming you're able to, like, get, but that's assuming if you have any reverb gauge ready beforehand.
Yes, I also judge the friendliness of people by how often they try and kill me.
Management? Not trusting security?
Please.
What a shock. Come on, give me your batteries.
I'm sorry to have to do this, but you're filled with energy.
You cleaned the floors enough. Now die.
That's what I say to my Roomba every day.
You just say to the Roomba, there is no floor. Die.
Roomba, prepare to meet your Goomba.
It's still always annoying, regardless, just having to give chase to these dudes because they serpentine all over the damn place.
Serpentine, Babu! Serpentine!
I mean, the animation of them just running off like that is cute and annoying. Plus, they have such amazing lines of dialogue, like "What the beep."
Yeah, it sounds. They sound text to speech. Is that right?
It's either an actual text-to-speech program, or they just got like a voice actor for them who is really good at like getting that text-to-speech cadence.
Yeah. Honestly, with this game, it could be.
It is otherwise. Otherwise, you're correct. It is basically like the most artificial voice out of all of the robots. You know, because Oscar's Irish, Lucille talks like Daria, Carrie is just a nervous wreck at all times. Fixing up the third node, with most of the effort being done by Peppermint anyway.
So helpful to have her around and do all the heavy lifting.
And take all the credits.
Which is weird, because the heavy lifting should be done by Macaron.
True. But I mean, also, we all know what his heavy lifting is like. He just punches it.
Yeah, I mean, gets it moved, doesn't it?
I mean, I say that, but that's also how we're going to end up fixing like one of like the mini nodes in like another area after this.
Of course it is.
It gets out of an alignment, in Macaron, just punch it.
Percussive maintenance, a classic.
Yeah. Percussive.
You saw what I did there. You kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Well, this is awkward.
But no, it's fine, because we just wanted a moment where, like, the platforms jut out in time with the music.
Of course they do.
We're 5 tracks in, you think they're gonna stop?
Even I'm capable of that kind of pattern recognition.
There we go. Unfortunately, again, because of how recently I bought the charge attack, I still did not use it, even when that opportunity was clear. It's just, the opportunity for a regular jam combo was just what I wanted more. But this is one of the interesting things about, with, like, jam combos, is where it's like, when you do, like, that air combo, the one where, like, it's designed to send Chai back down to the ground, the neat thing about when you use a rhythm assist to start that jam combo, it'll use the ground-based variant instead of the airborne one, regardless of, like, the exact timing when you hit the button, because the intent is that by the time it's supposed to activate, you are on the ground.
Also, it's just funny how the Hibiki combo is so Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's exactly the sort of thing where you just hit the triangle button and then you just, like, that's
everything
when, like,
dies.
Yep. You know, your fancy gimmick attack just goes apeshit.
Just all the sparkle effects, and somehow Goofy's dead again.
Yeah. Missed the timing on that. This dude, at least, I'm pretty sure does speak in haiku, as you can see.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a goddamn samurai.
Just makes me think of Slayer in Guilty Gear. His,
a little bit, yeah.
His instant kill that randomly generates a haiku.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'm remembering that now. I'm not taking that elevator yet. There's obviously more stuff to collect on that platform.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, that little samurai like elite series is just real interesting and needs of like of an enemy type, because it's one of those enemies where it has like the aura around it that like every enemy with a rhythm parry attack, it has like that that spiky orange aura that shows up around it. But like that particular enemy is like the one exception where it will like apply that aura to itself, but not for the purpose of like a rhythm attack. Like when it does that volley of hits that are explicitly designed to be parried. Like it's very much the biggest use case for like you should be mixing in your parries a lot of the time when doing when fighting this enemy at all really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got like the big volley of attacks that it does. It has the bit where like it strafes around the arena, like the music goes quiet because it has the sword sheath and it's gonna do a charge. And then of course there's the whole rhythm parry, which is still a bit tricky. It's funny, even though it's like, obviously the idea is that you want to do it on the beat, but the problem with that makes it not always consistent is the fact that, that shockwave travels. There's a travel time to it. So, in a way, the most reliable way if you wanted to, like, guarantee getting the timing to parry that shockwave is if you're just, like, up in his face when it activates. Because the further out it gets, like, the bigger risk you'll have of, like, it mistiming. Because the thing with parries is that, obviously, most things that you want to parry are on the beat. But there are times where, like, it's obviously been on half a beat.
Yeah.
Like, parries are one of those actions similar to jumping and dashing where, like, it can be done outside of the expected timing window.
Got another note to go, but
it's one thing where I definitely think that there could have been a bit more done. Obviously, if there had been a sequel, like if there were a sequel, I would have wanted like more instances of like pushing the application of the parry to apply to like more complex like timings and rhythms compared to just stuff that is easily divisible by 2 or something.
Yeah. I mean, just
because the eighth note timings being mixed in is like a nice touch for sure.
No way I am getting these supplies.
I mean, just the fact that they've, like even the parries are synced up to the beat. Like that had to have taken forever to get working properly.
Yeah. Especially with just how immediate the animation is supposed to be anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, we solved that carry's problem.
I can go now, but look how high up it goes.
Will you stop complaining?
There.
We helped you, didn't I?
That was the door unlocked. Now the vertigo is the only problem.
Okay, fine. I'll hit the button. You can just walk up. Hopefully these platforms do not recede back into the wall. Who am I kidding? They probably do.
Yeah.
This is Vandalay we're talking about.
Vandalay, we're not happy till you're not happy.
See, like I said, they're receding in and out.
It's probably a whole mountain of those little robots at the bottom.
Yeah.
Just all of them like, yep, this is our lives now.
It's just an open grave. It's like you ever see like those like comics people make about like theorizing of what is actually at the bottom of a bottomless pit in Mario?
Oh,
like where all the
yeah.
different Marios go when they fall down, and it's just like a massive corpse pile.
Maybe if Carrie moves really quickly. No, wait, she moves at like 2 miles an hour.
Oh no. Like, I don't know, maybe he gets Smidge to give you a hand. That dude can book it when he wants. just don't talk to him. Just don't talk to him beyond simply making the request and then hope it is over.
For the love of God, don't stare at the abs.
Hey, look at that. Like, I was able to, like, use the magnet to actually interrupt that gunner's, like, little, like, beam attack.
Nice. I'm standing here specifically to show off that, which is a special parry follow-up, where if you press Y and B at the same time, after, like, basically at the moment when, like, the circles overlap after a successful parry, that's when you get that special move where you impale them, swing them back over your head behind you, and cause them to bounce into the air and basically get, like, a free launch. This game really loves its launch combos, huh?
Yeah. Air combos are sick. It is like one of like the driving forces in a lot of action games.
Oh yeah.
People want to do air juggles.
No, it's just surprising how many ways there are to actually launch an enemy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like most games have like 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky.
It's like simple and like box standard as they are. There is definitely like a craft to making them feel like like very solid and not jank in the slightest.
Yeah.
And that's extra impressive on top of the fact that they have to design all of these animations in a way where they interpolate with the timing of the beats.
Yep.
Oh, only 2 more of these drones and we can finally have a complete comic book collection.
Ah, the dream.
Oh wait, that's right. We have to give it back to the other guy.
The reality.
Yup. Oh, we're getting close though. There's a lot of climbing though. But at least it's not as much climbing as what we'll see like in track 7. I can tell you that for free.
Oh god. This is the kind of game that has to have you assaulting a ziggurat at some point.
Yeah, and the weird thing with that is how it's like, I do appreciate a good vertical level in a video game. I think that's like one of the best, simplest ways of like introducing like level design variety when you consider that so many level designs are like extremely horizontal. They're very lateral in nature.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, I like a good tower climb, but also it feels like because of like what usually has to go into that kind of like vertical level design, it has the capacity to go like real wrong if you don't like pace it out properly.
Well, yeah, it goes from an interesting set piece to a chore.
Yeah. Or, yeah. Especially even worse if it's something like I always think about if you remember the final level from Mirror's Edge, the original.
Vaguely.
That one is a tower climb where you literally are like having to get to the top of like one of the big skyscrapers in the entire city.
Yeah.
And it's the sort of thing where I'm like, this concept should be entirely my jam, but this is also like
because this is the of how this entire level is set up and how long it takes. It's like it is basically at that point accentuating like all the worst parts about the campaign in Mirror's Edge up to that point.
Yeah.
Because for all like the parkour shit, you're not really applying it in a way that allows for any interesting climbing scenarios. It's just the climbing part of it going up in levels is very straightforward, and then you have to deal with all the awful combat encounters.
Yeah. Well, everyone always basically agreed that the combat was the least interesting part of Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, obviously there's the whole achievement of not using guns, but that doesn't change the fact you still have to fight enemies to progress.
Yeah.
So it kind of defeats the whole purpose. Like, at that point, I'm like, if I were to ever play that again, I would have no shame. I would pick up a gun. Fuck these assholes.
Yeah, the flying dropkick only really gets you so far.
That and the awful, like, counter timing that the game works with.
Yeah. I remember...
It's so hard to get right.
I think I played it around about the point... I can't remember if it was Assassin's Creed 2 or Brotherhood. And the timing, the parry timing and so forth and that was at the point one of the best I'd ever played. And going from one to the other was just night and day.
Yeah.
Like, you were going from some of the most satisfying and easy to pull off parry timing to whatever the hell Mirror's Edge was working with.
Just really strict and really hard to parse half the time, because like they try to get you with the idea of like, oh yeah, like their weapon will turn red because of runner vision, and that's when you need to press the button, except it happens so fast and everything is in motion that it becomes hard to actually parse if that even happens.
Yeah, after a while it's just hoping for the best.
Yeah. I mean, either way, like that, the whole idea of combat in the game was fundamentally flawed because nothing about it was designed to help in like preserving your mobility and momentum.
Yeah. I said it really felt like more of a roadblock than anything, which is obviously ironic.
If I find the person who designed this place, I'm giving him a piece of my mind.
Well, I can pull up the credits to this video game, and you look at everyone under the category of level designer. I'm sure they'll appreciate your complaints.
There's a list.
A big list. But also pay no mind to all the other people in the credits that are like clearly like beyond tangentially related to this to the production of this game, because of course it's a Zenimax published game. They have like over 1,000, and apparently that's what qualifies as making it a big game with like a huge staff that worked on it, even though you're crediting people like the sous chef. You're crediting the sous chef of like one of the fucking like dozen of like not even like main countries where like you would be expecting to get like localization support. Like Benelux or some shit.
People were walking past the office and getting points on the back end.
Yeah. Which is like, oh my god. Like, I'm just gonna say this up front, because obviously this would only apply several videos later, but I am not showing the full credits for this game in the Let's Play. There is an animated credit sequence, which is ostensibly for, like, the real credits. That's for, like, the real team at Tango.
Yeah.
And then the rest is basically, might as well be an excuse for Zenimax to credit everyone in the company directory.
We never did anything,
because
but
they
we
didn't
still
want to
want our name.
personally ask anyone if they actually worked on it or not. Poor scrub.
Rip.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the thing, because like I had to record that because that was the thing that the sous chef comment was not a joke. That is actually in the credits, and when I saw it, that kind of cemented the idea of like, there's someone I know that tried to like use the argument of like the credits being huge as being an example of how like Hi-Fi Rush somehow does not count as like a smaller game. So like so just because there was that whole kind of like scrutiny being put to Microsoft over the idea of them being like, we need smaller, less high budget games, and people were being like, well then what the fuck was Hi-Fi Rush? Granted, I think there is a decent amount of budget to it. That it's probably more mid-budget, if anything. Not obviously not low like Pentiment from Obsidian. You know, the Josh Sawyer passion project. But even then, this is still smaller than most everything. And if your argument is gonna be because they had like 1,500 people on the credits, and I'm like, did you actually look at every category on that credit to see whether or not they contributed anything, or if it was just everyone in the company directory? Because I want to ask that sous chef at whatever random bumfuck Zenimax location what they thought of Hi-Fi Rush and how they contributed.
7 out of 10.
Fair. So here's an interesting navigation challenge that tripped me up quite a few times until you realize this is another way of reinforcing how everything moves on the beat, and you should move on the beat. And that is the laser timing.
Look at this, partner.
That is annoyingly sneaky.
A real place to concentrate.
Oh yeah.
Right in front of my eyes this whole time. Workers want peace and quiet. All these.
He's got that right.
All this unused space. The future office.
I mean, I don't know if everyone wants an office in the air ducts.
I mean, given how many open plan offices I've worked in and despised, I would have killed for any kind of cubicle.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame about the rats, though.
Yeah. I'll make friends with them.
About that reward. Oh, that's a nice try. Helping out the little guy.
You could just have an entire colony of rats with one of them being led by, I forget, was it one as many or many as one in Planescape Torment? I'm confusing it with either that or the parody in the secret level from Dusk, where it's the ratacombs.
And don't forget the cancer mouse reference in what game is that in again?
Didn't Ultra Kill have it?
Ultra Kill, that's it.
I think that was it.
Incredibly radioactive mouse, I think it is.
Yeah. So this is like another one of those interesting challenges that I'm taking it very slow just to preserve my no damage status. The idea is that they want you to dash, pause, and then triple dash.
Yeah.
But I fucked this up enough times on my own as far as like trying to get that timing that it's like, screw it, I'll just dash one time and then just wait out the entire cycle.
Thank God the entire mission's not on a timer.
Yeah. I mean, it would seem kind of absurd to have like that kind of timer when like these levels run as long as they do.
Yeah.
My job. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It is
Now die!
Get out on me. I am just glad the job is done.
Starting to sound a little bit like Oscar there.
I feel sorry for you there. Do you want a hug?
You actually did it.
You sound surprised.
I think he wants a hug and some extra encouragement in order to be able to ask out Office Lady 404.
Fair.
Yeah.
Although he might have a bit of trouble considering like she's generally not found.
Anyway, you look like one of those
But I'm Tish.
hipsters.
I got it.
Hipsters?
It's the past.
I ain't laughing, but I got
For
it.
the record, I'm offended. But for now, I'll just leave.
Shy getting called out as a hipster.
Well, that is working, so you can access the
I don't even know if most hipsters would want to have him associated with them.
Hipster walks into a bar, says this place sucks, it's full of hipsters.
Who cares? Ugh, we're finished here. Ride the elevator down and we'll take
That's
the
too
lift
real.
to Corsica's way.
I, for one, Mr. Chai, like your pants.
Your time.
Good hustle, Cinnamon.
Thank you, Cinnamon.
That's why he's the second best character. Remember, the ranking goes as follows: 808, Cinnamon, Corsica. This is non-negotiable.
How else
What's
would
in
I-
the box?
Well, work is stressful. We need to relax sometimes.
Look, I won't judge. Reward, please.
All that for a life gauge piece.
Wow.
For a quest that basically took almost the entire level.
It was worth it, question mark?
I mean, for my completionist addled brain, it absolutely is.
Yes,
I
but
at least
for
was able to work out a route where I was able to, like, get all of those in a reasonable way without having to, like, backtrack or anything. Like if you're generally good at, like, you know, just, like, combing over every corner of an area, like, it's not too hard to be able to, like, find, like, where the hidden spots are anyway, like rooms that are off the beaten path and the like.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time another one of this Senko's bullshit. But here we go. Hibiki to shut this asshole down.
And Dunzo.
Yeah. Again, I love it so much just because, like, I mean, in a way, I do like Overdrive Slash as well. Both of them are, like, really good complementary special attacks to have, because one is meant to be, like, a very targeted, you know, forward-reaching attack. And the other is just a 360 AoE that doesn't really require any aiming, it's just proximity-based. But if, like, push came to shove where it was like I only had to use one, I would still choose Hibiki because of the fact that, like, yeah, when you get enemies in close and how rapidly it hits, like, it's more hits at a time than it is with the Overdrive Slash, where it's, you know, it's 6 in total because you have to do that rhythm game sequence.
Yeah.
But with Hibiki, it hits so rapidly that even if those individual hits are technically less than the individual hits of the Overdrive Slash, I think it would still come out as being more damaging in the end.
Yeah.
Anyway, bird enemies, putting a bit more of a wrinkle in the idea of, like, doing aerial combat in this game, because this dude, like, he has this annoying thing where if you try and magnet grab him at the wrong time, he'll just grab you with his talons and then just slam you to the ground. It doesn't count as damage, thankfully, but it's a really rude interruption to your combo.
And that parry is way too long.
Way too long, but it's at least an easy enough to remember pattern.
Yeah.
If there's a good thing to be said about, like, these super tough enemies with their rhythm parry attacks, is that the pattern is always the same, which does have the unfortunate downside, obviously, of, you know, adding to the repetition of it all. But I'll at least take the consistency.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's it for, like, the first third of this entire trek to find Corsica and get her password. It's just gonna keep going and going from here on, man.
Oh, good lord.